everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, and today we are going to be doing a foundation review. Now, I know it's not Friday, but I think this is extremely new to the market, so I wanted to get this review up as soon as possible. It is the new Milani foundation. This is the Screen Queen Natural Finish Foundation. So when I saw this in Ulta yesterday, I had to pick it up because I hadn't seen it before. So let's just get into this review. But before we do, you know we have to say our big old thank yous. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and taking time out of your day to spend a little bit of time with me. If this is your first time here, I'd love for you to stick around and subscribe to my channel and join the Glam Girl Chelsea squad over here. And if you are a returning subscriber, I am so appreciative of your constant support, for just sticking with me on this journey and encouraging me and making me feel like I belong here. So let's just get into this video. Alrighty, so I got this at Ulta yesterday. Ironically, this foundation is not on the Milani website. It is not on Ulta's website. Very weird, but it is in Ulta stores. So like I said, this is the Milani Screen Queen Foundation. This is, because I can't see anything online, I'm just gonna read what's on the bottle. This is the Luminous Natural Skin Finish. I have the shade 420. It says that it has buildable light to medium coverage. It is going to be long wear, and its biggest feature is that it is going to protect you from digital blue light. So it has this digital blue light filter in it that is supposed to protect the skin. And that's all I got for you, because I can't find it anywhere online. This is so weird, but hey, we're gonna review it for you. I'm gonna prime my face with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I always like to use a primer that I'm very familiar with. So now we're going to put the foundation on. I'm going to use a brush on this side and then a sponge on this side. There were 9 shades in the Ulta store that I went to. I don't know if those are all the shades that Milani's gonna have. They usually have a pretty extensive shade range. Oh, I probably shouldn't have put this on both sides. Oh well. But there was just 9 in store. This does feel, this is the texture of the foundation. So it's not super runny, but it doesn't feel super thick either. And I'm going to assume that since the coverage is marketed as light, and if they don't release a ton of shades, that the shades will be flexible. That's my assumption. But once again, I don't know too much about it yet to really make any strong claims. Okay, so this is the foundation blended out with a brush compared to this side of my face. I know I kind of have foundation on this side, but you can kind of get a good look at my skin. I do see some streak marks from the brush, so I don't know if this would work better with the sponge. Okay, so let's now try with the sponge. I'm using my sponge damp, and I'm using the e.l.f. sponge. So this is the sponge side, this is the brush side. I think I like the sponge side better because I was getting some streak marks from the brush. So I'm just gonna blend out this side with the sponge. I think you can use a brush. You might just have to work a little bit harder to blend it in, but I think the foundation blended out really quickly with the sponge. I am gonna add an extra pump just to see if we can get maybe a little bit more coverage. Okay, so this is what my face looks like with that second layer concentrated more so right along here. I think we could definitely get a nice light to solid medium coverage. I think right now I have a good kind of solid medium coverage, not medium full and not medium light or light medium. I think I've got like a nice solid base medium coverage here. So I'm gonna come in a little closer so you can see what everything looks like. I am really liking this luminous finish that the foundation is giving. If you are familiar with my channel, then you know those are the types of foundations that I prefer. But so far, so good. I do think if you wanted to wear this with a more light coverage, you could just apply 1 layer of the foundation. But even with the 1 layer of foundation, I don't think you're getting like super light coverage. Like, you are getting some type of coverage, which is good. I am slightly still tacky, but it's not extremely sticky, which is nice. I feel like that means that this will actually dry down. Maybe it's not, I don't think this is gonna dry down to be matte, but I think this will dry down a little bit more. Well, I'm liking what I see so far in terms of shade. I think this is a pretty decent shade match. Yeah, I'm looking at myself from afar. I think the shade match is pretty decent, pretty close of a match. And those are my thoughts so far. So I'm gonna put on the, oh, we gotta do flash photography. Let's go take a picture, see what this looks like, and then we'll come back. Okay, so in flash photography, there was no flashback at all, which is pretty great. I think it looks really good with the flash. So yeah, I don't have any other additional thoughts. So I'm gonna put on the rest of my makeup and then I will come back so that you can see what it looks like with everything on top. And then of course, we'll check in at the end of the day. I'm gonna definitely have this foundation on for at least 8 hours and then we can wrap up this video. Okay, so this is what everything looks like with makeup on top of this foundation. And so far, I'm liking it. I will say this, when I was putting on my concealer and more so my powder, I used my normal Wet n Wild powder to set my T-zone. There was something I didn't like around this area of my face. So I'm gonna keep a special eye out around here because I don't know if I needed to use a pore filling primer. I think that might be part of it. I see more of my pores here, so that is a note. And then two, I almost felt like this foundation doesn't need a powder. Like I felt like it was starting to look a little bit cakey, just a little bit. So I don't know, this may not need a powder. I'll let you know at the end of the day my thoughts. I did set the rest of my face with my Sephora MicroSmooth powder, and I don't know, I'm not feeling the powder with this foundation yet. I did go ahead and set my face with my L'Oreal Lumi Shake and Dew Glow Mist, and I do like this look better. I do think the mist helped to kind of mesh the powder in with the foundation, and I do like this a lot better. So it's weird because it's a luminous foundation, but it may not need powder. Like I said, I'll let you know my thoughts at the end of the day, but overall, I do like the way that this foundation is looking. When I looked at myself in the mirror when I was getting dressed, I was like, you're not bad, you're not bad. So yeah, let's wear this throughout the rest of the day. Like I said, I will check back in at the end of the day and give you my final thoughts. So stay tuned. Okay guys, we are back. It is the end of the day. And how long have we had this on? We've had this foundation on now for I think almost 10 hours, at least 9.5 hours. So we've had it on for a really good amount of time. I'm gonna come in close so you can see what this looks like. So I always get so uncomfortable doing this because I feel like you're really in my face, like. So this is what it looks like. I did not blot today, and I did eat, and today was a pretty mild day, so it wasn't like I was doing a whole bunch of running around or sweating or anything like that. So first impressions and thoughts. I don't know how I feel about this, guys. I really don't. So here's the thing. It was weird because I would look at my face periodically throughout the day in the mirror and I would go, I like. But then I would look at my face and I would go, oh, something's a little off with this foundation. You all tell me if you feel like you know what it is, because I, to be honest, have not figured it out yet. I do think this did oxidize a bit. I do think the shade is a little bit darker from when I first applied it this morning. I don't think it oxidized to the point where it's too dark, but in my opinion, it was noticeable. In terms of what I think it did well, I think it did hold up pretty good throughout the day for it to be more of a light to light medium type of coverage. I do think it held up pretty good. I do see a little bit of wearing away here on my chin. But remember I told you all earlier, it was something around here I did not like. I am not feeling it. I feel like it looks dry right here. And I noticed like my concealer is sitting funny right here. It's like gathering right here. In terms of how it looks on my forehead and like the rest of my face, I feel like it looks okay. But like right here, I am not a fan. So I don't know. And it's weird because this is what I think it is. And once again, you all tell me. I noticed right here where I have a little bit more oils that have come through, it looks better. It doesn't look cakey and dry and crusty. That's how I feel this part of my face looks. It looks crusty and like dry. And remember earlier when I said, I don't know if this foundation needs to be set? I'm wondering if, because I did put more powder here, because I did use concealer in this area, I'm wondering if this foundation does not like powder. Like if it's one of those foundations that if you powder too much, it just doesn't look good. With that said, I would have to wear this again to really determine what type of skin I think this foundation would work best for. Because off the top of my head, I'm like, okay, maybe this could go well for drier skin types because it is marketed as a luminous foundation. And if powder doesn't sit well on top of it, you know, people with more dry skin tend to not have to use powders. If you have more oily skin, it may not work for you because if you need a powder and it doesn't agree with powder, once again, it's not gonna work for you. But I've only worn this today. This is a first impressions, so I don't know if it's like my powder. I don't know if it's my primer. I don't know. All I do know is I'm not loving this foundation. And I'll be really honest, I don't even want to reach for this again. Like I don't know. So right now, this foundation is not getting an approval from me, but that could change. If you have tried this foundation, definitely leave your thoughts in the comments because I'm still trying to figure this thing out. If you feel like you figured out what's up with this foundation, let me know, leave it in the comments. If I do try this again, I will let you all know my thoughts. If I don't try it again, you'll see it at the end of the month in my January favorites and fails. And that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like I said before, let me know your comments down below of what you think of this foundation. I feel sad because I don't like not liking foundations, but I have to be honest with you all. And that's that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.